markets have been crashing for quite a few days now. Joining me today on the broadcast is Rajya Sabha MP Subramanian Swamy, sir, and let's ask him the question. Sir, the banks are failing, the economy seems to be in doldrums, and today, maybe due to coronavirus scares, the market has fallen over 3,100 points. What do you have to say?
Well, I think it's an overall picture of pessimism, because neither the Prime Minister nor the Finance Minister has brought out anything convincing that they understand the problems that are facing the economy, and that they will take the following steps. The core problem arises from a systematic fall in demand, which began with the demonetization. And the demonetization as a objective is a good objective, but the implementation was so terrible by the Finance Ministry and the Reserve Bank that it had caused untold disruption in what was the practice during the UPA period and the previous Congress periods. So what we need, we have to bring about enthusiasm to say yes, there's a chance of, and every sector today is affected. Take the airline sector, which we were all very proud of. So many Indian private airlines coming up, competing with fares. Now, one by one, they are all folding up. And the government itself is unable to manage an airline. They want to sell it to the private sector, but the private sector itself is collapsing. Jet has already gone out of business. Kingfisher has gone out of business. I won't be surprised if some other private airlines also close up. So the real issue today in the economy is the pessimism, and how to remove that pessimism. You can't remove the pessimism by threats or by vague speeches and impossible targets. We need to generate confidence that the persons at the helm of the economic anchor, so to speak, and the steering wheel, they know their subject, and they can put across a optimistic picture for people to follow.
Sir, although I know that you're not a fan of Rahul Gandhi, but yesterday he talked about how as the crude prices have fallen, maybe the government should also decrease the price of petrol and diesel to ensure there is more liquid cash and more money in the hands of the people. Do you agree with that?
Well, you see, you need a stable policy. It falls, then our petrol prices fall, goes up. I mean, you can't go on fluctuating, because who can guarantee that tomorrow the petrol prices, the crude oil prices will not rise? It just requires 2-3 countries to get together and decide to shut off supply, and it will go up. And so when India came to power in 2014, oil prices had come down quite substantially. Then it rose again back to 70, 80, at one stage touched $100 a barrel. So I don't think this kind of ad hoc that is happening, so we must do this. These are all happening in foreign markets, and we should have a stable price whether the crude oil prices goes up or down, and not rise in what has happened in our thing, and even happened in UPA, which Mr. Rahul Gandhi has to explain. When the crude oil prices went up, they raised the petrol prices. When it came down, they did not bring it down. So it has now gone steadily up. Today, the cost of petrol at the petrol station is only 35 rupees per litre, but you are selling it for 70 rupees a litre. So this lack of stability and this knee-jerk suggestions, these are really responsible for our economic pessimism today.
So, sir, according to you, you talked about economic pessimism. That is what is affecting our economy today. According to you, what are the measures that the government should now be taking to ensure that the confidence is back and that we can bring our, jobs back and bring the economy back into some kind of stable format?
I've written a book on it called Reset, and there's no point in my repeating it over and over again. I mean, I know it's not the people who are making the economic decisions, they have no comprehension. Otherwise, you would not say that in 5 years we will make $5 trillion GDP, because that means if you do a calculation, it means 14.4% growth rate when you're not even got 4.4. And now, because of this last year, it has now gone up to 18.9. So it's no point in my telling on television what steps should be taken. But I have written a book, and that book has been made available to the government. They should follow it.